Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. I hope the summer has arrived wherever you are, except if you're in Australia, somewhere on the southern continent. But everybody else, summer is here. And today we have Starlight with us again. Some of you will remember Starlight was with us a couple of weeks ago, and she had incredible sharings back then. And we wanted to learn more from her. She had many, many other areas of expertise. And she didn't mind to be invited again and to share with us something new. So Starlight, why don't you just go ahead, maybe briefly introduce yourself again for those of the listeners who have not seen you or heard you before.
Sure, absolutely.
Little cat in the background.
My cats are on the bed fighting. Hey.
So Starlight is
Okay.
based in Panama. That's why it's nice and hot where she is.
Oop, I just got big time scratched. Ooh, that was deep. Brutal. Oh my God, cats. Anyways, hi everybody.
Injured
My
by a
name is
cat on
Starlight.
live TV.
Oh my, in serio, like
Oh
bladed.
God, that looks
That is a
terrible.
deep one. Can I grab some tissue really quick? I'm sorry to interrupt, but I need to grab something. Okay.
If you ever want to sue that cat, we got you covered.
I can't believe it. I'm a little offended actually. Like I'm taking it a little personal. Okay. Restart. Hi everybody. My name is Starlight. I am a launch and business strategist who helps businesses grow and launch their businesses and programs. My expertise is far-reaching, but I primarily focus on launching communities. For the last 10 or so years, I've been helping my clients launch their businesses. And so when we were speaking a few weeks ago in our last session, Rena asked if I would come back and talk about how early stage customers or early stage consultants and coaches can make some fast traction with their business. So that's what I'm going to kind of dive into today. Uh, this is my best advice for early stage entrepreneurs. Now, to give you a little bit deeper background into my expertise, I am a launch specialist, but my expertise started as working as a consultant for online business owners, creating their brands, creating their marketing, building their websites. And I learned very quickly that my success as a freelancer was directly connected to whether or not my clients had a big picture strategy lined up for their business, or if they were just sort of like putting one foot in front of the other, right? During the process of working with my clients for that, I began to develop a framework that has turned into the method that I use today to coach my clients. A lot of that expertise translated directly into my corporate experience, where I became a user experience designer and worked in the startup space. In the startup space, it's highly important to be able to make super fast traction right out of the gate. And one of the biggest solutions that we would focus on is how to generate community and momentum around an idea right out of the gate without having to invest a lot of time, effort, or energy. So, as I worked my way through the industry and eventually decided to leave my corporate gig, as we all eventually, speaking to the coaches and consultants of us who got tired of working in the corporate space, eventually do, I transitioned into helping business owners launch their business, get that fast momentum, and get traction. So that is where I'm coming from in sharing the advice that I have for you today. So, really quick, I'm going to actually do a little bit of a workshop with you at the end of the session so that we can lock in your undeniable message workshop workbook. And if you want to download that now, there's a URL here, marketing.bottledlightning.co/undeniable dash message. That will get you, it'll be delivered direct to your inbox. That will deliver you the workbook that we'll do together at the end of this session, because so much of what early entrepreneurs struggle with is really locking in the verbiage that makes sense for their brand. We're going to talk about why that's important and how to sail through that stage, but I thought we could do that together because it's actually a pretty quick exercise. Um, I'll assume you've gone ahead and typed that link in. Clickety clickety. Okay, we're moving forward. So, imagine being able to say, oh, no, I want to skip this page. So, why do early stage entrepreneurs struggle with getting results? First of all, They get too hung up on tech, branding, and perfection. First, they think they need a logo and a website, and then they spin on what that website says, and then they're wrestling with how do I articulate what it is I really want to do if I'm just getting started, and I'm not actually sure what it is that I'm delivering and what it is that I'm doing. And that cycle holds back so many entrepreneurs, you would not believe it. I know that this is going to be somewhat controversial advice, but until you've locked in what you actually do, there's no point in building an entire brand identity around it, because A, it's expensive. There's going to be people you need to hire to do it, or it's going to be expensive in time because you're going to need to be focusing on building and implementing your brand and your site instead of actually doing what you need to get doing as an early stage entrepreneur, which is making money. Finding clients, delivering a service, making money, proving that you have a system that works for you, right? So messaging, like I mentioned, it's something that people really struggle with. And it's normal to struggle with it because as entrepreneurs, we kind of want to articulate ourselves and express our passion and this is my project that I'm putting into the world. And we have so much emotionally and mentally tied up in our early stage businesses that we spin our wheels and trying to get it perfect, and perfection just doesn't come. I'm going to tell you something. Real talk. There is not an entrepreneur that I've ever seen worked with who had their messaging, website, and everything locked in the first time that they launched it. Like, I don't know about you, Rena, Iana, did you guys, how many times, like 1, 2, 3, 4 times, how many times have you redesigned your website as you've continued to advance and evolve what you've learned to offer and your services? So this attachment to getting it right and getting it perfect out of the gate, it's an illusion and it's an obstacle. So what do we actually really do? If you are truly just getting started, there's a perfect infrastructure out there for you. And it starts with getting appointments, closing a sale, capturing the results of the work that you did for those clients, and building case studies. Now, first of all, let's talk about the tech behind that. This is super low key, super affordable. You need a Stripe account so that you can process payments. Your Stripe account is going to be instrumental in whatever platforms and technology you decide to implement into your business later. I'm going to steer you away from PayPal. I know if you have PayPal, fine, people have PayPal, but PayPal can be big time problematic, especially when you start to make big traction, and it can become more of an obstacle than a solution. So if you don't have a Stripe account, set up a Stripe account, learn how to use it, pop in there and create some products that are your service that people can use to check out directly. You can share a link directly to a Stripe checkout form, handles all the payments, sends it directly to your bank, bing, bang, boom. The second part of that is having an online scheduler, whether it's Calendly, Acuity, or some sort of lifetime deal to anything. It needs to be effortless for people to grab 20 to 30 minutes of your time for what we like to call discovery calls. This is essential because the truth of the matter is when you're first getting started and you're still figuring out how to offer your offering, you absolutely need to talk to as many people as you can. And talking to people is actually what leads to sales. So it needs to be a link that's easily accessible, that you can set up and time block your own calendar. This isn't about being permanently available all day, every day, and people just booking your time willy-nilly. Block your time. We'll dive into time blocking here in a little bit so that you have days where you're committed to having an open schedule where people can get time with you. During that time, it's very simple. You're having a quick conversation about what they need, what they want, and how you can help them. That's it. That's what a discovery call is. And frankly, that's what a sales call is. And it shouldn't take more than 30 minutes, because if it is, you've gone too deep into serving and not making money and diving into the problem and mulling it over. Like, it needs to be a quick, hi, tell me what, this is seriously how these calls go. Hi, nice to meet you. Where are you from? I'm from here. How's the weather? Oh, it's great. Now, what is it that you're struggling with? Oh my God, my health is just driving me crazy and I keep trying to make momentum, but I can't. Okay, and what is it that you're trying to accomplish? Well, really, I would like to get stronger and more slender, and I would like to feel like I can keep up with my kids. Okay, and listen to me. This is the freaking script, okay? So, what I'm hearing is that you're struggling with getting momentum and support in achieving your health goals. I'm also realizing that what you really want to do is achieve those goals so that you can keep up with your kids, so that you can feel strong, so that you can feel like you look good naked and continue to see your health improve. Is that right? Yes, that's right. Perfect. I've helped other people do this before. Now, if this is your first client and you've never done this before, technically, you're allowed to say, this is something I can help you do, rather than specifically, this is something I've done before, right? Because it's something you can help them do. And you're the reason that they're coming to you for a solution. And as long as you say, this is something that I can help you with, I've helped other people do this before, and here is my plan to make this work. The plan is either your program, your service, your framework, however it is you've decided that you're going to offer this program. Because real talk, I'm going to jump. I know I've said this before, and you know me, I'm going to kind of jump around a little bit as we cover a few topics, because this really is like, if you sat me down and said, Starlight, please tell me everything I need to know about getting started with my own consulting or coaching business, this is the advice, right? There's 3 things that people need to make a transformation. 3. They need motivation. That's on them. They're the ones that have to come up with the motivation to make it happen. Second, they need a plan. That's where you come in, because you're the expert who has seen what it takes to get the transformation that your customers want, right? You know what it takes to go from A to Z in whatever outcomes it is you're promising to deliver. The reason that they're struggling with actually taking action themselves is not for lack of motivation. Like they told you, they've tried and tried and tried and tried, and it just didn't seem to stick. Why weren't they able to get traction? Because they didn't have a clear plan. That clear plan is something you'll begin exploring as you get your business started, and then it will become the core element of your signature offer and your signature framework moving forward. So it starts as a plan based on your expertise and what you know you can do to help people, but it begins to evolve into your own transformative program down the road. But when you can say during a discovery call, I know how you feel, I know what it is you're trying to achieve, and I have the plan to help you, you've knocked out 2 of the 3 reasons that they would choose to work with you. The third thing that people need for transformation is confidence. Now, that confidence is often something that's a little tricky to come up with from inside, right? I'm not really sure if I've picked the right plan. I'm not really sure if I'm going to run into obstacles that I can or can't handle. Is this something I can really do? How do we solve that? As coaches, as consultants, it's our job to deliver the confidence. It's our job to say, you can trust me to make sure that I will make sure that the road is as easy as possible for you. I'll help you skip over any easy to avoid obstacles, and you'll have my support when things go sideways, so that you don't have to rely on yourself to generate that confidence that you've picked the right plan and that you're on the right path. Now, for people who can't afford coaches and consultants, especially if you're a new stage entrepreneur, and let me tell you, the minute that you can get one, pay for it, because good coaches and good strategists can make a really big difference in how quickly you achieve your results and how effortlessly that path is for you. But if you can't, know that you're trading the investment of a consultant or a strategist for the time and effort it will take to make some mistakes and learn the hard way, or invest in courses or DIY, or however it is you decide to do that. But that requires its own level of clicking through the process, right? So those 3 things that are necessary as a transformation that you need to be able to deliver and nail during the discovery call is, first of all, is this person motivated? Are they actually interested in getting the work done? Because if they're not a good client for you. And let me tell you, after pouring our hearts and souls into clients who then turn around, don't put it into action, don't get results, it can feel a little personal. And it's a sign that we're getting bad clients. And the first gate to whether or not we're getting good or bad clients is to see if they're motivated. The second is to have an action plan. And the third is to deliver confidence by being the expert that they can rely on to get them the results that that plan takes them. So a discovery call backs up to, is this person motivated? Is this the right plan for them to get the goals and outcomes that they want? And am I the right person to help them? That's what they're wondering, and that's what you're wondering too. So during our discovery call, to back up to the discovery call, it is about making a connection. It's about understanding where they're coming from. It's about understanding where they go. And then it's about letting them know that you're the person with the plan and you're the person that they can trust to help them along that journey. That's it. That's a sales call. At the end, you get to say, so sounds like you want to accomplish these goals. Yes, I do. Sounds like you're struggling with these pain points. Yes, I am. Is this the right action plan for you? Does this sound like the right plan that will get you your results? Yeah, it actually does. Do you think I'm the right person to help you get those results? Yeah, actually, you've kind of told me about your expertise, and in talking to me about the plan, you've helped me generate some trust and realization that you might actually be the right person to help me. Okay, and are you motivated to take action on this plan and actually get it accomplished? Yeah, honestly, I'm tired of living this way. I'm ready to take action. Cool. My program starts at this number. End of sentence. And then you quiet and silent and take a break and a breath and let them digest it and respond. I know that that feels super squeeby, but that's what consensual selling is really about. And at that point, it's not about pushing them. It's not about guiding them into, you got to pay today. And no. You just say, listen, this is the price of my program. And you let them decide in that moment whether or not it's right for them. They may have additional questions. They may ask for monthly payments, but you don't have to say, well, normally it's $1,000, but today I'm making it $750 because, and then it, like, yo, you're just cutting yourself off at the foot with that. So early entrepreneurs need to learn to have that sales conversation and be able to close the sale and then deliver on the results, right? So back to our perfect starter infrastructure. If you have the ability for somebody to grab 20 minutes on your calendar without having to send emails back and forth, great. Now you have a script for what that 20-minute discovery call looks like, and you know what it sounds like to close the sale. And when they go, you know what, actually, this sounds like a slam dunk. Like, this is the plan. These are the outcomes. You sound like the person that I want to work with, and I'm motivated to make it happen. You go, great. Here's a link to my Stripe product that you can click to purchase and sign up. And then you're off to the races. And whatever your form of coaching and delivery that happens after that can continue to evolve, right? That's what you need. That's what you really need to get started and make fast traction as an entrepreneur. And all of that can be done without a website. All of that can be done without hiring a copywriter and a brand artist and all of these things that quickly become big behemoth activities that are expensive and time intensive that slow down those early results. Because the truth is, early entrepreneurs need to jump in and start serving clients because that's where you're going to learn everything. We'll dive into that more later. The other thing that a lot of people skip on is that once they've begun serving their clients, they're not capturing the results along the way. You need to be keeping track of how they're doing and the results that they're getting. It's even better if they're tracking how they're doing and the results that they're getting and reporting it back to you, because that's social proof, baby. But when they're doing that, they're also seeing the results and impact of what you have to deliver to them and generating even more confidence that your plan is working. And then when they get to the end of that plan and they've achieved those results, they can honestly say, wow, this person really helped me. And there's evidence along the path that they've helped me. And now you have a case study and an example and testimonials and social proof and all the things that actually make a big difference in convincing others to become your client as well. You see how it's a regenerative cycle, right? So don't get hung up on tech, branding, perfection, et cetera, et cetera. You need to get in there, you need to start serving people, and you need to start getting results to really learn and refine your craft and hone in on what your services are as you're moving along. And the quickest way to do that is to tell everybody who's interested in potentially working with you to sign up for a discovery call. We're also going to lock in your messaging, because your messaging is basically the siren's call that when you're speaking to an audience of people, helps your target customers inside of that audience hear you, what you have to offer, and go, actually, I think I would really like to talk to this person. And inviting them to a discovery call is a faster track and a hotter lead than adding them to your email list. That's super important, but it is definitely less imperative than actually being able to hold discovery calls, okay? So, struggle number 2, entrepreneurs get caught up in shiny object syndrome. That's the truth. They ignore the importance of client getting activities and balancing client work with actually working on their business. So many people jump into their early stage business and begin working. They get a couple clients and they're working on those clients, and then those contracts come to an end and they don't have anything else behind it. And their business works in fits and starts and peaks and valleys because there's not a consistent effort going on behind the scenes to grow their business. Now, a lot of people won't tell you this in the beginning because, again, there seems to be this effort on like serving your clients. You just got to get some clients and you just got to make some money and then that's it. One of the biggest mistakes I made in my career was believing that serving my clients was the best thing I needed to do, right? And I ignored the activities that I needed to pay attention to inside my business. Hey, ¿qué pasó? Ah? Sorry, my cats are in a mood. I don't know what's going. You're being very rude. Okay, whatever, cats. I'm still a little ego wounded about this slice on my finger. Anyways, this is also my first time at this standing desk setup. And this light is heating me up. I think I'm gonna turn it off. See if I'm still visible. Yeah, I'm okay. Okay. Whew. Oh, that light was hot. Okay. So often we get so focused on serving our clients that we forget about the other aspects of our business and we don't know how to balance it. Now, this comes down to 5 activities that apply to any business, and here's how to balance them. This is how to time block your calendar. This is how to make sure that you have a checklist of what you're paying attention to, and this is how to make sure that you're making fast momentum, okay? There are 5 core activities that apply to every business. First, client getting activities. That means networking, that means growing, that means talking to people, that means emailing people, that means being present and looking for opportunities to get clients. It needs to be a core activity of your business. The second aspect is foundation building. These are activities like building your website, improving things in your infrastructure, setting up systems, copywriting, such like that. There's often going to be a stage of foundation work that's very heavy in your early business, and then over time it will be less and less time that you need to spend on foundation. The third aspect is business administration. Invoices, emails, client management, the basics of like, it shouldn't take a lot of time in a week, but it does take time, so we need to include it. Then there's content generation and list building. This is a 2-in-1 combo because these are essential to online businesses and you can't get away from it. Dive into that more later. And then of course there's actual client work. Now, if you look at your pricing of your services and you realize that if there's 5 activities here, but my client work is only accounting for the time that I spend hourly one-on-one with my clients, and yet I'm supposed to be able to fund my business. This is the difference between employee thinking and entrepreneur thinking. How is your pricing supposed to work and fund all of these activities if you're only getting paid for the client work time, right? You see how that can make a shift in entrepreneur versus employee thinking. Employee thinking is like, I trade my time for money. They give me enough money that I can pay my bills and I live my life over here. But as an entrepreneur, our clients need to bring us enough money so that we can run our business, so that we can spend time getting clients, working on our business, continuing to do the things that help our business grow without being in this constant state of, oh shit, I don't have enough money, So if you're looking at this and realizing that there's a lot that your client work should actually be paying for, it's time to reassess your pricing. Now, how do these things dive in or come together? Let's say, best case scenario, you're only wanting to work 10 hours a week, right? You're just getting started in your side hustle, or maybe you've been cranking along and you want to keep your entrepreneurship super limited to 10 hours. How would I break down these activities? We're going to, out of 10 hours, we would say 4 of those hours are client getting activities 4 of those hours are client work, right? 50-50 right out of the gate. Until you have so much client work that you don't need to spend as much time on client getting activities, 50-50 is the rule, right? And what does that leave us? That leaves us 2 extra hours for content generation and list building and business administration. That's what those additional 2 hours are. Now, what about foundations? Oh my God. Okay, listen, if you're first getting started in your business, then your foundation work takes the place of your client work until your client work begins to pick up and take off, right? Now, what I want you to do is I want you to think about, holy crap, am I spending 40% of my time actually looking for clients? No. And you're struggling to make ends meet because we're not spending enough time looking for clients, right? Nobody really reveals this process early on because so many of us are just kind of in the mode of getting and grinding. We can also see that foundation, content generation, and business administration shouldn't be taking up the hugest chunk of our time and space. Foundation work is really only meant to replace client work until we have the foundation work enough to get clients, right? And then client getting activities, let's say you've already spent all this time and effort on your website. You've already got your social media going. You're ready to go. You're just not getting enough clients. Then we're cranking up client getting activities to 7-8 hours a week. And you're spending the other hours continuing to generate content and maintain and grow your email list and maintain your business. But if you already have foundation and you don't have clients, then it is 100% steam ahead on client getting activities. And this is where you'll start to see a big shift in your business because you'll start to realize how much time and effort it really actually takes to get clients, how many touch points are necessary to actually convert a client. But then you'll start to see your calendar fill up with sales calls that eventually over time translate into client work. And as your client work begins to increase, your client getting activities can decrease until there's an appropriate balance. That making sense? Okay. The third obstacle, and this is like 99% mental, but the solutions are not mental, they're active. You want to reinvent the wheel. Oh my God, you know what? Like, I'm tired of emails. I'm going to try and build a business without building an email list. Okay, listen, honey, I get it. Like, I've worked with Aquariuses before, right? We want to do things our own way and we want to forge a new path. But when you are creating an online business, there are things that work, that have worked for ages, and you want to take advantage of them. Reinventing the wheel for something as foundational as continuing to grow your business with an email list, which becomes one of the most valuable resources you can have in your business. By avoiding and skipping that step, you're literally screwing yourself for the lifetime of your business until you figure out how important it is by the hard way and eventually implement it. So, while it's tricky for us to go, but I don't want to, like, listen, did you want to be a successful online entrepreneur? Then you need to set aside your perspective of what works and doesn't work and rely on things that people have demonstrated works. That's why we work with coaches. That's why we work with strategists, because in the heat of the moment, when my client says, like, I know that I'm supposed to get on video, but I really don't want to, and I hate being on video. I'm the person that can say, listen, these are the numbers of what happens when you're on video and the impact that it has to your bottom line. This is the money that you're leaving on the table when you choose not to take advantage of this marketing activity. And suddenly they go, oh, well, maybe getting on video isn't such a terrible idea, right? Because you can see what it means to actually avoid that activity. When you're working without a coach and a strategist, it's really easy to feel like you can just pick and choose the tactics that appeal to you and implement those in your business instead of knowing which ones actually get results for you, for your business, and will help you make traction forward. So I want you to challenge yourself in thinking about the things that you think you want to do or can or cannot do, and dive deeper into learning about what's the actual impact on the bottom line of your business long term. $10 says you'll start running into industry reports, statistics that let you know the essentials of why these fundamental aspects of your business are so essential and shouldn't be overlooked. Also, because we're creating these projects that at the end of the day are driven by our passion and our own dreams and vision, it's very easy to get an addiction to perfection and not wanting to put out anything into the world until it's totally ready. Listen, babes, that's coming from a place of unresolved trauma. Like, I'm just going to be real with you. An addiction to perfection is unresolved trauma about you associating your value with having something perfect and everybody going, yes, it's perfect. And like, sweet, that's something to think about and talk about with your coach or with your therapist and to work through. But I need you to identify it in yourself, because when you're doing something to the point that it's perfect, it's too long and too late. It's something that we said a lot in the startup space. I forget who was the guy that said it, but he said if you waited until it's perfect to put it into the world, it's too late already, right? So as you see this compelling idea to like crank on your website until 4 a.m, and I can't talk to clients until I'm totally sure what it is I'm offering, and I don't want to have a sales conversation until I'm just absolutely perfect at it. Entrepreneurship, like anything, is a skill set that requires learning new skills and new abilities, and it takes time and it takes practice. And it's not something where like, okay, tomorrow I want to start playing the violin, and I pick up the violin for the very first time and I'm totally perfect at it, and now I'm perfect at it and I'm a perfect violinist. No, it takes a long time to develop the skills to actually be an effortless violinist, right? And so go ahead and see that part of yourself that wants to sit there and not put it out into the world, or not tell people what you're doing, or not have conversations until you totally have it figured out and it's totally perfect. Because the way you're going to get good at it, the way you're going to actually solve this unknown thing for you, is to get in there and do it and take messy action, right? That means stepping outside of your comfort zone. If there's anything that entrepreneurship will teach you, it is that your comfort zone is going to hold you back every time. It's going to hold you back every time. And as soon as you start to feel yourself getting uncomfortable, I want you to look at that sensation and embrace it and go, ooh, I must be making progress because this feels really squeeby. Instead of backing away from feeling uncomfortable because I'm not ready and I need to perfect it more. Right? You can see how that's an important awareness and self-awareness we need to have. Like I said, so much of this stage is really about mindset and understanding how you're shifting from employee corporate mindset into entrepreneurial mindset, but also seeing how your own way of doing things can get in the way of your actual results. So what does this look like? I want you to send 100 network emails. This is not 100 emails to your email list. This is not any random 100 people in your inbox. I want you to go through your contacts, professional and private and personal, and I want you to tell them what you're doing. I want you to tell them what you're up to. Hey, it's me. I've been working really hard on starting my own business. I'm doing this for these people so that they can get these results. Back to that amazing undeniable messaging, right? That's what we're going to touch on, because that undeniable messaging is what's going to help you when you're introducing yourself to others, when you're inviting people to have a discovery call, and when you send these 100 emails. Now, why 100 emails to your private and professional network? I'm sure that you've heard in social media marketing and things like that, that people need to know, like, and love you, and know, like, and trust, and et cetera, from social media. It takes, and just general online businesses, we've transitioned from years ago, you could pop on the internet, pop up a business, and it would be easy to get clients because it was an open field. Now it is not an open field. People are very much accustomed to being sold to all the time, so they're resistant to it, and it takes more to generate trust. We've transitioned to the point where 27 touch points is often the stage at which someone is finally beginning to make the decision to cross the threshold and become a customer. 27! You're an early stage entrepreneur. We don't have time for you to find new people and contact them 27 times on social media and email marketing and via their website and all the various things for you to finally sign them as a client. You'll be starving by the time that happens. So how do we quickly make momentum? We go to the people who already know, like, and trust you. Hello. Now, organic referrals are a method of getting clients. They are not a marketable, reliable way of getting clients, but it is the most important way when you're first getting started. Because if my friend comes to me and says, oh my God, I know you're struggling with this thing and I know the perfect person to help you, I'm going to listen to them, and I get to skip through those 27 contact points to quickly know, like, and trust somebody, and I'm willing to pop on a discovery call with them. Also, the people who know, like, and trust you already, your personal and professional contacts, often have either the need themselves or they know somebody in their network who would be a good fit for you. So when you send out these 100 emails, and it's 100 emails to 100 different people, not 100 emails to the same 100 people, you are letting them know what's going on in your life, but you are making a specific request. This is not like a social media update. This is a specific request. I am looking for these kinds of people, AKA your target customers, so that I can help them with this specific problem, AKA the problem that your business is designed to serve. And if you know someone, or if you're that someone, here's a link to my calendar for a discovery call. Call to action. Now, real talk, I can't tell you how many clients I've shared this guidance with and how few take action, because this is where they run into their comfort zone, feeling like they need to be perfect, feeling like they're not really sure, feeling like they need to get their messaging perfect before they ever tell anybody something like this. Yo, it's 100% an illusion and an obstacle that's standing in your way. And sending these out and taking messy action is how you're going to get that ball rolling that actually gets you clients, that actually gets you results. If 100 of those emails turned into 3 clients, just 3, wouldn't you be off to the races? Like, oh shit, 3 clients, we're off to the races, right? And now we have client work time and client getting activities, and we can continue to focus on these things, but we can do it with our time and attention, because the immediate impulse of, am I even going to be able to get clients doing this? And am I even going to be able to make money, has been answered. Because yeah, you got your first 3 clients, baby, let's go. So even though it's messy, even though it feels like the worst thing in the world, and I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to send those emails and you are going to get nauseous, and you're going to sit there checking your inbox and refreshing, and the first reply is going to make your heart sink, because it might not be what you expect. It doesn't matter. If this is really what you want and this is what you're trying to put out into the world, this is the step you need to take. Those 100 network emails will begin to create a ball of momentum that helps move your business forward in bigger ways. And let me tell you, honey, write this down on a sticky note and put it on the wall. Small hinges open big doors, right? And you have no idea what these small little hinges may open for you in the future. Which leads me to relentless collaboration. Whether it is in-person networking, whether it's online collaboration with other businesses, whether it's doing something like this where I'm showing up in somebody else's group and collaborating with them to bring value to their audience. However you find the opportunities, collaboration is key, because going it alone is a shit way to live, and it's even worse way to do business. Real talk. You got to let that go in the context of how we're, I don't know, I'm speaking as an American here, but we're very pull ourselves up by our bootstraps and we can do it on our own. And all you need is hard work and gumption. Yeah, that's not how entrepreneurship works. And that is a lonely, hard row to hoe. And so do yourself a favor and find people who you can collaborate with to make fast traction, because that's where you will start to get big results. Because again, small hinges open big doors. Now, the final part of this is to do not neglect list building. Your email list is the most valuable digital asset you have in your business. You could destroy everything I have today, knock on wood, my website, my technology, my contact resource manager, my every freaking thing. But if I could walk away with my email list and the names and emails of the people who I've already made contact with in my business, I could start over tomorrow, right? That is where the money is. That's where the money will always be. It's not in your social media following. It's not in Facebook groups. If you don't have their email address, it's not that serious. So in your client getting activities and in your administrative aspects and how you're building your business, please, 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 if you don't know how to go about list building, learn how to do it. If you're not quite sure what it takes to do it well, do the research, find somebody to work with, take a course, because list building really is the source of which all of the sales that you get later in your life and in your business becomes easier and easier and easier, the bigger and better and warmer and more nurtured that your list is. You feeling me? Again, don't let reinventing the wheel and an addiction to perfection and on a discomfort about taking early, fast, messy action get in the way of you actually building your business. If you only put this information into action of everything I've talked about today, you would still start to get results. You feel me? Okay. So how to go from spinning your wheels and overwhelmed to fast momentum in your business. First, we're going to get crystal clear on the results that you deliver and the problem that you solve and put that front and center. We're going to dive into that exercise right here in a minute. Second, you're going to prioritize client getting activities. Look at that time blocking and go, am I spending 40% of my time looking for clients? If you're not, time to crank it up, right? Crank it up. Keep a journal for your business. Keep daily notes that let you know what you're accomplishing, what you're doing, and how those things are going. And you'll start to see the activities that get you results, and you'll be able to turn up the knob on those. But if you never follow through on taking activity on these client getting activities and you don't make them a focus, you'll never figure out what works for you in your business. And you'll continually be running around trying different tactics and trying different methods without getting real results. Okay? And then the third is step way outside that comfort zone and any feelings of whether or not you're ready to start spreading the news with 100 emails to your network, private and personal. Now, follow your intuition on that. Open up your inbox and just go, that person, and you'll feel an immediate yes or no. At least I will. There's an element of trusting your intuition as to whether or not that person is somebody that would be interested in knowing what's going on in your life. This isn't about sending it to your grandma, okay? Love you, Grandma. We'll give you a personal update later. This is really about who in my list needs to know what I'm doing, might have a connection to my target customer, or might be a good fit for my business, or might have some insights for me that I'm not even aware of yet. Those are who we're going for. Make a list of 100 contacts and start sending those emails. Personal invitations with a call to action that says, this is what I'm solving. These are the people I'm helping. If you or somebody you know wants to learn more, sign up for a link, a discovery call with a link to your calendar. Plain and simple. Okay, let me check the little Zoom chatty and see if there's any questions. I don't see anything coming up. Okay, so this is obviously what happens next, because that was part of the little pitch here in this presentation, is what happens once you start to get this momentum going. What you're learning during this vision stage begins to evolve into how you design an actual program around your business. And that's where the good shit really starts to take hold, because you've demonstrated what you can do. You have case studies and social proof that you can do it. And now you can compile that into a program that can be scaled into a course, scaled and reaching more people, or group coaching, or a community, or however you want to. But this is how you're getting clear on this vision and being irresistible to your customers begins to have an impact in your larger vision as a whole. Real quick, we've got about 10 minutes. Let's take a quick look at this workbook. So this is the exact undeniable messaging workbook that I use with my clients. Now, the step before this involves doing some customer research and diving into your ideal client avatar. If that's not something that you've done yet, this step might be a little bit more difficult for you. But I'm pretty sure by the time you've gotten to where we are now, you've done at least one ideal client avatar outline. And And so you'll have enough to kind of get started here. This is really about, this is where the line is in coming up with this messaging. You've heard people say this messaging before. Hi, I'm Starlight. I help fill in the blank target customers accomplish fill in the blank things that they're trying to accomplish so that they can achieve the thing that they really desire without all the pain that they hate and the things that are holding them back, right? You've heard people say this. The problem is that so many people feel like this is an opportunity for them to encapsulate their entire personality and business and vision and method into the world. And they overcomplicate this statement and they completely miss the mark on the language that actually gets results, right? And so this is why we focus on this, because if you don't get it right, you're going to continue to struggle until you go back to doing this. Now, this is just like learning an instrument. When you learn an instrument, you have to start out by doing the scales. The scales are boring. Boring, horrible, we hate it. What we really want to do is jump right into the good stuff, but we can't begin improvising until we get the foundation solid. This is the foundation. So do your best to kind of suspend what it is that you would like to throw in here and flourish and add all the magic to, and wait until you have the actual solid message. Because this exercise is not about you, it's about your customers, and it's about what you're giving to them. And real talk, boom, real talk, customers or your ideal clients don't give a crap about what it is that you do. What they want is results for themselves. The how doesn't matter. They want somebody to help them get the thing that they want to get. And if you're not communicating with them and saying, I understand what it is you're struggling with, and I know how to get what it is that you're going after, you're just going to continue grinding on this message over and over and over until you finally figure it out, back away from your complicated message and put it into something truly simple. So let's start with the most important bit. Now, your core currency is the most valuable impact of your business, of your service, of your products, of whatever it is you offer. So what I want you to do here is I want you to, oh my God, my poor finger. This is like, do I need stitches? I guess not, it's not bleeding. Brutal. Okay, so here we're going to talk about things that my business increases. My business increases difficult things to like categorize, but we could say confidence. Oops, typey. Confidence. What else? Clients. More money, obviously. What else does my business increase? It increases, let's see, ease of running my business, right? That's what I want you to do. I want you to, and you don't have to finish this in the time that we're talking about it, because I really want you to dive deep on this, but I want you to think about all the things that your service increases, not what your service does. Notice that I'm not writing anything like, oh, I help them create courses and I help them launch things. No, what does my service increase for my customers? Ease. What do people really want? I don't know why this is flickering this way. Let me see. Maybe it may be because I have it in this view. What is it that they are going to experience as an impact by working with me? This is where I want to focus, right? Now, where I can, some of these are a little difficult to make specific, but where I can, I want to find a metric and a timeline. So for example, with clients, we'll say, okay, they can find 10 clients in 3 months. More money, make 10K in 90 days, right? Where you can, you want to get specific with a metric and a timeline, because that's essential. No need to rush. Okay, we have more time. Thank you, Rena. Now, over here, we're going to do the exact same thing, but we're going to talk about what does our service decrease, right? So my service decreases confusion, wasted time, insecurity, feast or famine mode, right? You see how I'm going to kind of go through this, and I'm going to identify all the things that my service increases and the things that my service decreases. Now, where I can, in both cases, I want to make sure that I'm being very specific with the metric and timeline. I need to see if I can get this to stop blinking. Maybe that will help. Yeah, no, we're just getting a redraw every second. Okay, I'm really sorry about this. I don't know why it's being so clicky. Okay, maybe that will help. So it's important for you that you go through this and really be as 360 degrees of your target customer as you can. If you've done some work around your ideal client avatar, you know what their problems are, you know what they're suffering from. So we're going to put things that it decreases is all the things that they're suffering from, right? Over and increases all the things that they're really working towards and that they desire. The ones that are going to be the most valuable are going to be the ones that have a metric and a timeline. So as I'm looking at this, I could say to my clients, or my ideal customers, I could say, hey, you should totally sign up for my program. It will totally reduce how much confusion you're having. Okay, yeah, but that doesn't really got punch, does it? And out of the things here that we have listed that have punch, getting 10 clients in 3 months or making 10K in 90 days, those actually have some punch, right? That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get more clients. They're trying to make 10K in 90 days. So let's say for this case, we're going to say get 10 clients in 3 months is, of all the things that we've noted here, the most impactful for our customers. Now, again, you'll notice I haven't included anything in here about what I do. It's not about business strategy. It's not about program design. It's not about customer research. It's not about any of the how that I help my clients get 10 clients in 3 months, right? Why? Because it's not about me. It's about them. And they want 10 clients in 3 months. Most people don't care how it's going to work. They just want to know that you're the person with the plan and that can get them those results. So this is where we define the core currency that your service and your business has to offer. Real talk, your core currency will change from product to product. For example, 10 clients in 3 months totally works for my early stage business clients, but launch a new community with 100 new members in 90 days is my core currency for a different service, right? So I don't want you to feel like you have to lock into this and this is the thing for you and your business henceforth and forever, but actually see this as, how do you come up with your core messaging, your undeniable messaging for each of the services, your lead magnets, your offers, whatever it is. This is where we circle back to what is the most valuable currency that your service, item, offer has to offer. Now, real talk, I wonder if I could find it super quick. Let me see if I can find it real quick. There's like 7 things that people care about, and that's it. And I know that sounds like crazy, but that's really it. Let me see if I can find it. Launch. Oop, I think I'm going to find it. Yes. I'm just going to share this image real quick for you so that you can see what I'm talking about. Okay. All human desires, anything anybody would ever want ever, boils down to these things here in pink. That's it. Happiness, money, personal freedom, peace of mind, joy, balance, fulfillment, confidence, stability, and passion. If your core currency doesn't speak to any of those things, it's not a core currency and it's bullshit. If your messaging doesn't speak to one of these things being the core deliverable and the promise that you can give somebody more, any of these things, you're missing the mark. Your messaging is about you and it's not about people. Psychologically, human beings only want these 10 things. And we make choices, impulsive or educated. We make decisions. We make life moves, all to give us either more happiness, more money, more freedom, more peace of mind, more joy, more balance in our lives, more fulfillment, more confidence, more stability, or more passion, right? And you can see how all of these would apply differently depending on what sort of coach you are. If you are a relationship coach, what do they probably want? Passion, peace of mind, joy, right? As a consultant, I'm looking at money, personal freedom, confidence, right? This is how, if your core currency isn't speaking to one of these things, it's bullshit, it won't work, okay? So keep that in mind as you're doing this, and then I'm going to switch back here to our little workshop workbook real quick. So once you've created this list and you begin looking at it, you'll start to get a clear bell that says one of these is better than all the others, and that's the one I'm going to move forward for this service, for this program. Now, the reason that I didn't pick 10 clients in 3 months, but instead I picked more money for my core currency moving forward, make 10K in 90 days, is because why? Clients isn't a core desire, right? In that list of 10 things that we talked about, clients wasn't on the list. More money, oh, for show. More freedom, more independence, oh, for show. But that's why I went with, of all the things that I could talk about here, I went with 10K in 90 days. Make more money, 10K in 90 days. So now that we have a core currency, let's dive into how this applies. So the 3 obstacles between my customers and their results, right? If what they want is, oh my God, I'm so sorry about the blinking. I don't really know how to like stop that except for to click out and not use it. Okay, so this is coming from your core avatar research. If you haven't done ideal client avatar research, message me, yo. I am like the queen of customer research. This is primarily what I did in the corporate space. I am a medium for customer understanding and can help you with some exercises that will really reveal this to you if any of these questions are a mystery to you. So the 3 main obstacles between my clients and results: technical overwhelm, not really sure if they have a clear plan moving forward because they got a lot of random advice from a lot of random people, but it's not coming together in a full picture. And just like there's so many moving pieces and I'm not really sure, is my program even desired by the world? Those are things that I know are the obstacles for my clients that are core between them and the results that they're going to get, right? Back to, do they have a plan? Do they have motivation? Do they have confidence? Right? You see how that's all coming full circle. I can say, do they have the confidence in a fancy way by saying they're not really sure if their program is right or is actually even desired by others out into the world. But what does that boil down to? Confidence. And what is one of the 10 things that all human beings want in their lives? Confidence, right? You see how it's all connected. This is where I dive into, what will life be like if they don't solve this problem? I want you to think about this as like, why are they waking up with this, worried about it at 3 in the morning? So if we use this in the health context and we say, okay, we're talking about our mom who wants to lose some weight, get strong, and have enough energy that she can run after her kids. Now we want to focus on, what is life like if she doesn't focus on it, if she doesn't actually solve this problem? Oh, fuck, health gets worse. Losing money because you got to spend more money on actually coming further out of health. And we all know healthcare is expensive as Americans. I'm envious of the rest of the world. But like, what are some of the core impacts that they're going to have, the costs, if they don't solve this problem right now? This is how we'll be able to determine if somebody's really motivated or not, is if they're willing to continue dealing with the costs of not solving their problem. Right? I don't have enough clients. I'm not getting it. Yeah, send 100 emails. Well, I don't want to. Well, if you don't send 100 emails, you're going to keep sitting in this little mud puddle. Well, this mud puddle's okay for me for a little bit longer. Okay, let me know when you're ready to get out of the mud puddle, right? So we want to be able to know and understand the difficulties that the cost of not solving this problem actually has for them, because this is where we'll be able to further articulate why it is they want to take action now. Again, this is not like deeper complexities about the problem. I'm not talking about, well, they haven't picked what platform they're going to use, or they haven't found a virtual assistant that they like yet. No, this is, if they don't do this, if they don't solve this problem, what will happen? And that thing is usually the thing that's troubling them at 3 in the morning. So for my clients, that's often like, if I don't figure out how to get clients and make money with my business, I'm going to have to go back and get a straight job. Oh, yeah, that's a cost, baby. And that's a good one. That's why that's part of my marketing, right? Is like, you want to go back and get a job, or you want to step out of your freaking comfort zone and send some emails. You dig? Okay. Down here, their biggest goal. Again, this is really our core currency. This is really around like, what is it they're trying to accomplish? My clients want money because money helps them validate that the path that they're on is actually worth it, that they can keep trying, that they can keep on the path, that they can keep going. I'm just going to pull exactly what I wrote on the previous page and include it here. Oof, my power is going to drop here in a little bit. My battery is running a little low. Okay. Let me dash downstairs really quick and plug in. Sorry for this little thing. I thought I was going to be quick ski dunsies. Quick like a bunny run downstairs. You get a little tour behind the scenes of my house. Quick, let me pop in the plug-a-roonies. There we go. Okay, I'm not going to die. All right. So their biggest goal is that core currency and what it is they're trying to accomplish. Now, what is their biggest dream and aspiration? When I'm talking about my clients, I don't think that their biggest dream and aspiration is to get clients and make money, right? That's the Band-Aid to this immediate situation for them to feel the fuel that they can continue moving forward, right? So what happens if they actually get enough money and they feel confident running their business and they're not overwhelmed by technology and they're regularly getting clients and getting money? What is my client's ultimate dream and aspiration? This comes from my ideal client avatar work. I know that my clients want to live a life that's untethered from the norm. They want to have location independence. They want to work on their own terms. They want to feel fulfilled in their work. Again, back to those 10 values of what people really want. That's where we're really focusing on, like independence, freedom, balance, opportunities, right? Like, so what is their greatest dream and aspiration, which is essentially the secondary effect of the core currency that you offer? And then what will life be like when they actually achieve these results? What is the actual impact and benefit of them solving that problem right now? So if the problem of them not solving their health issues right now is continued ongoing struggle, cost, financial, social, lack of confidence, feeling bad about themselves, continuing to be hard on themselves, if they actually solved it right now and they got what it was that they were wanted and they woke up feeling strong and they felt like they could chase after their kids when they needed to without it wearing them out, what would that actually be like for them as a result? Well, actually, they might take on additional family activities that require physical exertion. Like maybe we could go on family hikes. Like maybe my kid and I could go to a surf class together. Like maybe there's a lot of dreams and aspirations that they're thinking about. This is where you're speaking to their dreams and desires in a much larger way, right? So we want to fill out this information, and then you'll see over here there's variations on the message. Now, you're familiar with the $1 million message. I help avatar achieve blah, 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 so that they can desire without pain points. If you can't fill this in and talk about it using the core currency here and being straightforward and direct without any flurry of messaging and anything flowery, this is where you need to focus, right? But not in every case is this the message that we want to do. So for example, on your sales page at the very top, how target avatars get these results. Me, this product is how these people get these results. If I'm talking about my program, what if you really wanted XYZ? Inside my program with this title, I deliver the results that you really want, right? You can see how these variations are valuable. And I've kind of took this and created an easy fill in the blank worksheet that will help you hone in on the messaging and promises that you offer as a coach that you can talk about your services, your programs, the transformation, the transformation that you deliver. You can introduce yourself. You can use this on your sales page. If you completed this based on research about your target customer, if you don't know who your target customer is, this is just a guess and it needs to be validated. But if you've done customer research and you know really what they're feeling, desiring, wanting, hoping for to change, and the problem that you can help them with, and you fill this out, this can be used with copywriters, virtual assistants, anybody writing a sales page, anytime you're writing a sales page, anytime you're deciding, should I include or not include this little part of my program? You can look at it and go, does this actually deliver on the promise or no, right? This completed page gives you the undeniable messaging that you need in any of the contexts in which you'll need to talk about your business. You dig? That's the end of this little workshop bit. I'm going to stop sharing and see if there's any questions. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the whole big view. How do I access the worksheet? I have a link here. Rena, do you have the link handy? Or I can pop back to it. Let me see. My hand is killing me, so I don't feel like typing. I'm so mad about it.
Lots of links, but I'm not sure which one it is. Let me just
pop it up real quick. I got it here handy. So it's this one here for the workbook. Marketing.bottledlightning.co/undeniable message. That's where you can get this particular workbook. And it's fillable just like you saw here, and you can go in and work through it.
Starlight, you might want to share it with me as well. This link is not the one you shared with us. I have lots of other links of yours, but not this one.
I have no idea what I shared with you, so I'll just put this here. Undeniable message. Okay, I think there's the link there. Oh yeah, that other one was for the other presentation I did. Those were all around the community launch.
I do have a question, Starlight. Let me just
shoot, babies.
Spotlight. Do you want to stop sharing the screen?
Sure.
So thank you so much for sharing so many useful insights about how to launch and how to make money as a coach. Do you have any recommendations when it comes to automating things? Are there any particular tools that you use that you find have made your life so much easier and help you cope with overwhelm and keep yourself organized and get all your ducks in the row?
I think in the context of the presentation and there what we're talking about, I think the only real tools are around connecting your calendar and your booking appointments to make that easy. I also like throwing in a Zapier that shoots me a text when I get a new appointment scheduled on my calendar, so that I kind of have awareness of who's popping on my calendar and when, rather than just like blindly going into my calendar. I can be like, oh, that person that I talked to booked a session with me. But in the stage of early entrepreneurship, automation is a deep rabbit hole that is often more of a distraction than an actual result getting thing. And automation is something to think into when you begin to actually build in your infrastructure, in that when you think about doing a task that you know you're going to do 1,000 times, then it's time to think about how can I automate this to make it effortless moving forward. But if you're just getting started, it's so easy to spend time spinning your wheels, creating all these intricate automations, when the tools that you're going to use are going to continue to evolve. The systems that you're building are still TBD as to what you need and what you don't need. And actually, automation is something that really applies to people who are getting ready to scale and are suffering from having too much to do, versus early stage entrepreneurs who are really focused on getting clients. Yeah.
Perfect. And those of you who are considering getting some sort of scheduling tool that integrates well with Google Calendar, Starlight mentioned Calendly. So we do have a training. So reach out to me, ask me about it. We do have a training specifically designed to help coaches get their scheduler done, because this is kind of like your business card. This is the first thing often that, not first, but one of the things that clients see, and definitely what you put in there often helps them make up their mind whether they actually schedule with you or not. So yeah, get that training from us. Thank you so much, Starlight, for yet another session.
I see Deb's question real quick. I was going to answer Deb's question. So Deb asks, what if I don't have a network of 100 people to send emails to? Okay, you're confusing an email list with people that you know that you've emailed and in your professional network. You have over 100 people that you know in your network. You have more than that. Go through your Facebook profile, go through your inbox, go through your LinkedIn connections, go through anywhere, your Rolodex, whatever version of your personal and professional connections. This is not your email list. This is people who already know, like, and trust you. You have that many or more, and you'll be surprised how many come out of the woodworks. And you don't have to come up with 100 before you start sending emails. Come up with 25 and then send 25 emails and then come up with 25 more, right? You've got 40% of your time to dedicate to client getting activities. And while this one makes you feel the squeebiest, it gets the quickest momentum rolling. So don't be scared to really go through everybody you know with a fine-tooth comb and look at all the actual opportunities to connect with people who would be interested.
On this note, I can't recommend highly enough. One of my favorite books is called The Art of Asking by Amanda Palmer.
Yeah.
Check out her TED Talk. She's incredible. And that book I read a few years ago, and it really changed my mind about how we build our network. And she, over the years, over a span of 10 years, every single person she spoke to, she performed in front of them, she asked them for their email address, or she asked them to follow her on Twitter or follow her on social media. And so over a span of 10 years, she built up a mailing list of 25,000 people. These are all the people she met personally at some point, or they recommended her to their friends and such. And so this, it's really, I call it like the love jar. For me, the emailing list that you're building, every single person you meet goes into your love jar and you love on them. And so read that book, and it really hopefully will also change your mind, get you the wheels in your head spinning about how powerful personal connections are. Every single person you meet, ask them, could you have their email address? Is there a way for you to follow up with them? Eventually you will have your lead magnet, which you can then share with them too, and ask them to download whatever lead magnet it is and start building the emailing list this way as well. But basically every single person that God puts in front of you, that person is there for a reason, and you should make sure, at least make an attempt to get the contact so that you can follow up with them eventually, or continue the relationship. I hope this answers.
If you're looking to grow your professional network, I would also suggest going on Eventbrite, because there are lots of online networking events that are happening on Eventbrite. There are in-person events, like look for other local networking events near you. Don't be scared to like get out there, because again, the person that you run into, maybe they're not meant to become your client, but you have no idea how they may eventually open a big door for you in the future. And you can't open big doors without small hinges. So go and grow your network as well.
Yeah, and you just reminded me of something else. I've mentioned this a couple of times in our community. I was invited about 3 months ago to a platform called Lunch Club. I'm gonna drop my link in the chat. And I met so many people on that platform. And the whole purpose of this platform is actually to have a conversation with people, a 45-minute call. And there are a lot of people who are in the startup industry, who are professionals, who are movie directors, you name it. Very interesting crowd, highly professional. And I'm not saying you're going to get clients there, but at least you're going to get your network broadened. Also, another app that I've been trying is Shaper. And so I'm going to put that also in the chat. I'm going to also put it under the YouTube video. Check it out. give it a chance, and you might meet some interesting people and get their emails, and who knows. I'm almost surprised when somebody who's never met me before signs up with me. So usually there've been several touch points. They've seen me along my journey at some point, and then they make up their minds. So they make sometimes their minds 3 months down the road, 6 months down the road. And then it's very, very easy to sell, because there is no more selling needed, because they just know they already made up their mind and they want to work with you. So I always say, don't have one night stands with your clients. Bet on long-term relationships with your clients. So follow up, keep them in your love jar, send those emails whenever you have something interesting to share, of course. And yeah, that's it. Long session today, but I'm glad we had this long conversation, Starlight. I enjoyed. I hope you're fine after that vicious cat attack.
I don't want to show you. It's freaking scary just to look at, but it's not bleeding, so I'll be okay. I'm gonna take care of myself. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate getting to share with your audience.
Perfect. So yeah, have a good day, everybody. Have a good rest of the week. See you again on Thursday. We're gonna go live again on Thursday. Another interesting topic. And take care, everybody. I'm gonna
Ciao.
live stream. I'm gonna stop here.